Hello and welcome back to the channel Held Dominance. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you're seeing and if you want to see more. Coming up in this episode, Ireland and Lebanon renew hostilities, while Fiji get back in the groove, and a night to remember for Jamaica. So we begin by looking ahead to Sunday's Rugby League games in the Rugby League World Cup. And first of all, Ireland versus Cedars. It is Toby King that believes Ireland can beat anyone in the World Cup after hitting out at those writing off the Wolfhounds. They take on the Lebanon Seas team in the pivotal Group C feature that is likely to determine who advances through the group, with New Zealand's. Yet King, who will play for Wigan Warriors next season, insists there are no boundaries on what Ireland can achieve and has taken a swipe at those who don't believe they can cause serious damage in the latter stages of the competition. Everyone writes Ireland off, King said. I think that's the thing now. I generally think this group we've got, there are so many talented players. I think there's the top two with Australia and New Zealand, and then we can be in contention after that. A bit like Tonga did. That's what develops the game back in Ireland. So if we have a successful World Cup, beating Lebanon, and the Kiwis even, we'll bring it to them as well. Asked if he genuinely thought that the Kiwis could be beaten by the Wolfhounds, he said, why not? There are 13 players on the pitch for each team. I genuinely think that they look down on Super League with some of the players we've got here. There's no question we can beat anyone in front of us. King is one of a growing number of voices that have spoke out about what the NRL thinks about, and thinking that the NRL has a negative look on the Super League competition. He said, it doesn't bother me. I think it's hilarious that people want to write Ireland off. But we're a proud nation. We play with our hearts on our sleeve. Anyone who wants to take on the Irish, we'll give it to them. And today, Ireland face Lebanon in the crucial Group C match, which is pivotal for both teams, with Wolfhounds head coach Jake Cochran playing in the side that fought out a 16-all draw in a bruising World Cup qualifier 15 years ago. The former second row remembers the meeting well in 2017 when the two sides faced off against each other in Dewsbury, and he said, where the draw that in the brutal encounter featuring high tackles aplenty, one of which landed Lebanon prop Charlie Nora in the sin bin, proved enough for the Irish side to qualify for the following year's World Cup in Australia. On this Sunday, today, the Wolfhounds and the Cedars renew their hostilities in Lee Sports Village, where a win coupled with New Zealand beating Jamaica last night would see Ireland into the knockout stages. Lebanon, meanwhile, know another defeat would end their hopes of qualifying after they were beaten 34 points to 18 by the Kiwis in the first round of matches in Group C. The Irish head coach Cochran is steeling this team for another fiery affair. There's a lot of animosity between us and Lebanon, even way back to when I played in 2007 in our qualifiers, when we pit them in Dewsbury, Cochran told the Press Association. There was a lot of bad blood before the game, a lot of bad blood in the game, and then obviously it spilled over after the game. They're desperate. It's their grand final. They're competing with New Zealand. They competed with New Zealand, and they're desperate, but they're desperate to get to the quarterfinals too. This game is probably the game of the weekend, and we're going to see it so soon. Probably when this video goes live, the game has probably already kicked off. hopefully it lives up all to the hype, because both teams know what they need to do to qualify for the quarterfinals. Now we go on to a recap of yesterday's Rugby League World Cup games. We've already done England and our vlog, so we're having a look at Italy versus Fiji. And Tui Kamikamica hopes Fiji's performance in their 60 points to 4 victory over Italy will act as a statement of intent to their Rugby League World Cup rivals. This is as they target another run to the latter stages. The Batty scored 10 tries against the Italian side, which showed the NRL quality, with Viliami Kikau, Kevin Nagama, Api Coruscant, Ben Akubuarai and Mika Sivo all being involved in the try scoring. This after the Batty were beaten in round 1 by Australia, but found themselves on the front foot from the outset as they ran in those tries, which were all converted over the course of a dominant performance. Kikau, Penioni, Tagi Tuimua and Makasivo all crossed twice, and vice-captain Kamikamica, who made 125 metres in 49 minutes on the field, was delighted by the way his side imposed themselves in the contest. We just kept it nice and simple. We spoke about it during the week. We didn't get frantic. Make sure you work through the middle, complete your sets, and keep on defending. Our defence was really good. We only conceded 1 try for the whole of the game. We were focused more on our defence this week leading up to the game. The 28-year-old went on to reveal his team's his intent on making their mark on this year's World Cup. After 3 successive semi-finals, Kamikamica reveals his men would like to go a step further this time around. He said, the last 3 World Cups we reached the semi-finals. This year we want to take a step more than a semi-final. Even though we started well against Australia, we lacked our discipline. We didn't control the ball in the last 20 minutes of the half, and that was one of our main points of focus ahead of this game. Hold the ball, complete our sets, and make it an arm wrestle. And when asked if his side were looking to send a message to the rest of the tournament, he said definitely, especially after today. Like I said before, we're here to mix with other nations that are looking forward to playing against us because we're looking to make a statement. We're taking it week by week. We're going to focus on Scotland, but it's really good to get a win after the loss last week. Kamikamica didn't get on the try scoring list on himself, but was very dominant in their display. He made 125 metres in the 49 minutes that he spent on the field, in a place where he could set the platform for the rest of the team. Looking back at his own performance, he said, every time I go out there on the field, I'm representing my country. I give everything I've got, empty the tank, week in, week out. As a little kid growing up in Fiji, it was always a dream to play for my country. And finally, we get to New Zealand versus Jamaica and the 12th match of the Rugby League World Cup. Before Sunday's games kick off, New Zealand sparkled in a game which they put on a dazzling masterclass in the city of Hull as the Rugby League World Cup came to Hull on Saturday night. The Kiwis, who were ranked number 1 in the world rankings for the Rugby League, or International Rugby League, were incredible to watch at times, with speed and execution, and their execution of play absolutely frightening as they romped to a 68.6 win. That was always the most telling thing about with the two Western Hemisphere powerhouses, with the pace with which they play, with Australia letting loose in a 15-try massacre of Scotland on Friday night. There was no substitute for it, demonstrated by Dallin Watani's Lesniak's electric 4 tries, and added with the ability to execute their moves with such crisp precision. It's a lethal combination. In the case of this 13-try blowout, but in the term of when England, pretty much part of the tournament, meet their old foes, it's those finer margins that will prove the difference either way. That's why the Kangaroos and the Kiwis have shared every World Cup tournament between them since the British team last won the trophy 50 years ago. That certain side featured a certain Clive Sullivan, more famous in this part of the world than the Chip Spice, the House Martins, and John Prescott. And what a try it was. While New Zealand set about a fantastic result and sent a warning out to all the other big guns in the tournament, it was something else that actually will grab the headlines from this game for a little bit of a smile, shall we say that? But first of all, tries from Watani Lesniak, Peter Hiku, Marata Nikore, Sebastian Chris, 2 from Marshall King, Chasney Nicol Klogstad, Niakora, and 2 from Nikora, and 2 from Brandon Smith at the end of the game. So a dominant one-sided display for New Zealand to make it 68-0. But then came the Jamaicans, who were never out of it and were game all the way through the entire match. And they got what they richly deserved. Nearing the end of the game, Jamaica were on the attack, and Kieran Rush's kick was spilt by New Zealand defenders, and Jamaica went over for their first ever World Cup try. It was a fantastic effort, and the name of the person that was on the try, Ben Jones-Bishop. There was a record for Ben Jones-Bishop as he became the first for the island nation to score a try in a Rugby League World Cup, and wild scenes of celebration happened afterwards as the Sheffield Eagles winger playing at fullback for Jamaica got over for a 4-pointer. Kieran Rush is the equal all-time point scorer as he converted the try as well in this 68-6 game. All smiles both sides after the game as they gave a guard of honour to Ben Jones-Bishop. Maybe a little bit of a tongue-in-cheek moment for scoring a try, but more towards his 300th appearance for club and country being marked at the MKM Stadium. To be fair, Jamaica deserved points on the night as they were still in the game throughout the entire exchange. They were game going forward. They were trying things. They were just up against a team that was maybe 5 notches higher in terms of quality, and it showed. But fair play to Jamaica. Dying off this for a few weeks, few days, few years even. But enjoy the night. And that's it for another episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and share this video worldwide, as well as clicking on that notification bell for any updates on new videos that may be coming your way. Tell me what your thoughts are on today's video in the comment section below. It's open for business and it's all for you guys to be reasonable and respectful of each other to be. Like the constructive criticism, I had a comment recently about the logos in my bottom corners, these two here, and the left, my left one, your right, the Help Dominance logo is, I've reduced it in size so because it was getting the way in of the videos. But hey yo, thank you for little bits of snippets like that. It's always appreciated when I get feedback, as I can improve this channel. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to share this video worldwide. I'll end the episode by wishing you all the best, so please stay safe, and I'll see you in the next episode.